Imagine pulling off a heist. A heist so perfect, so clever that you outsmart an entire industry without breaking a single law. Well, today, we're diving into one of the most brilliant and audacious betting schemes in history. This is the story of the Yellow Sam coup.
So let's just start with this number, 1.7 million euros. That's what the profit from a single horse race pulled off by one incredible gambler would be worth today. I mean, think about that. A life-changing amount of money won in just a few minutes. We've got to go back to 1975 to understand this. There's no internet, no mobile phones, nothing like that. It's a time when information moves at a snail's pace. And one man saw a massive opportunity in that delay. He put together a plan that was, well, part genius, part logistical miracle, and a whole lot of guts. And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How on earth did one guy manage to beat a system that's literally designed to stop this exact thing from happening? Well, stick around, because that's what we're about to break down. Okay, so to really get how genius this plan was, you first have to understand the system he was up against, and of course, the man who had the nerve to challenge it. So the architect of all this was a man named Barney Curley. Now, he wasn't just some guy placing a bet. He was a professional gambler, a meticulous planner, and a horse trainer who knew the racing world inside and out. He was already a legend in the making, and this was going to be his Mona Lisa. All right, here's the fundamental problem every big-time gambler faces. If you want to win big, you got to bet big, right? But the second the bookies see a huge flood of cash coming in on one horse, alarms go off. They slash the odds to protect themselves, and just like that, your massive potential payout shrinks to almost nothing. That was the puzzle Curley had to solve. Look at it this way. Normally, you place a huge bet, the bookies notice, and those amazing 20-to-1 odds you saw, they crash down to something like 2-to-1. Your big payday is gone. Curley's goal was to somehow place a whole country's worth of bets, have the bookies notice absolutely nothing, and keep those beautiful 20-to-1 odds locked in tight. The result? A massive, massive payout. So how in the world was he going to pull this off? Well, it wasn't just one clever trick. No, this was a meticulously crafted three-part strategy where every single piece had to work in perfect sync. His entire plan really rested on three key pillars. First, he needed the perfect horse. Second, the perfect location, one with a very specific hidden weakness. And third, he had to build the perfect network of people he could trust with his life. Let's start with the horse, Yellow Sam. Now, to everyone else, Yellow Sam was just an average horse, kind of unremarkable. That's why he had these long odds of 20-to-1. But Curley knew a secret. He had been training this horse in private, getting him ready for this one specific race. He'd even run him on tracks that didn't suit him, just to make him look bad and hide his true potential from everyone. Talk about playing the long game. Next up, the location. Bellowstown Racecourse in Ireland. So why there, of all places? Because this particular racecourse had a single point of failure, a critical vulnerability, and it was one public telephone box. That's it. That was the only way for the bookies at the track to talk to the outside world. You really have to wrap your head around this. In 1975, that single phone line was everything. It was the bookies' lifeline. It was their only connection, their only way of knowing if a financial storm was brewing across the country. If you could cut that line, they'd be completely in the dark. And the final piece of the puzzle, the network. You see, a coup this huge, you just can't do it alone. So Curley put together a secret army, about 300 trusted friends and contacts. Their mission was simple: get into position at betting shops all across Ireland, lay low, and wait for the signal. So all the pieces were on the board. The horse was ready, the location was picked, the network was standing by. Now we get to the day of the race itself, the execution of the heist. The last half hour before the race was straight out of a Hollywood movie. 30 minutes to go, one of Curley's men casually walks into that one and only phone booth and starts a very long, very detailed, and completely fake phone call about a dying aunt. Just like that, the bookies were cut off. Then, with only minutes to spare, the signal went out. Curley's network of agents stormed betting shops all over the country, all at the same time, all placing their bets on Yellow Sam. Meanwhile, back at the track, the bookmakers had no clue what was going on. Their only lifeline to the outside world was occupied. As far as they were concerned, Yellow Sam was just another 20-to-1 long shot. So they happily took the few bets that trickled in, totally oblivious to the financial tidal wave that was about to crash down on them. And then, the moment of truth. The race started, and Yellow Sam, the horse that nobody believed in, the horse that was prepared in total secret, ran the race of his life. And he won. He actually won. Barney Curley's impossible, insane plan had worked perfectly. The race might have been over, but let me tell you, the story was just getting started. The win sent absolute shockwaves through the entire betting industry and forever cemented Barney Curley's name in history. The total payout back in 1975 was over 300,000 Irish pounds. I mean, that was an absolutely astronomical sum back then. The legend says the bookies were so cleaned out, they had to deliver the winnings in hundreds of bags filled with £1 notes because they just didn't have big enough bills to cover it. The whole thing basically forced the industry to change its rules overnight to make sure nothing like this could ever happen again. And for Barney Curley, it turned him into a folk hero. He would pull off other incredible coups later on, but he also became a huge philanthropist, spending much of his later life giving back through charity. Which kind of leaves us with one final question to think about. What Barney Curley did was, believe it or not, 100% legal. He didn't break any rules. He just understood the system better than the people who made it. But was it fair? Was it an ingenious mind legally exploiting a loophole? Or was it an unfair manipulation that just exposed how fragile the whole system was? Honestly, it's something people in racing still argue about to this day.